Good morning. My name is Dr. Craig Fontaine, and I'm going to be your professor for this course. All professors are somewhat different in their expectations for students in their classes. So I thought it would be best if I were to give you some tips and some hints on how I like to see things done in my expectations. All of this is being done in the hopes that you can get the best grade possible. I like to give good grades to students, but because I also need to maintain academic standards, if there are some things that you do not do, I honestly have to take points off. So there aren't many rules, but let's go through them real fast. Number one, the initial post in all of your modules is perhaps the most important thing that you do in each module. Initial posts, in my brain, should be considered to be like a short-term paper. They need to be handled very professionally. You need to do a substantial amount, generally speaking, of background research before you can begin to write. And when I say background research, I mean library research, where you use peer-reviewed journal articles that you can find at the Argosy University Online Library or almost any library, and I do not care if you use another library. Argosy University happens to be good, and we happen to have the journals in that library, which would be valuable for this course. There's a button that you can click, as most of you probably already know, that says, when you're doing a search, it says, click this button, and we will return in the results only peer-reviewed articles. I would suggest you do that. It takes a lot of the ineligible articles away. Now, while you need to do some research in the library without fail, it doesn't mean that you cannot use websites or other more informal sources also. However, you cannot use those exclusively or you will find yourself losing points. So that's really the most important thing. Number two, for an assignment, it's generally the second assignment. If there's not two discussion sections, there's one discussion and there's one written research paper. Remember, all research papers must have an abstract. And of course, the rules that I just listed for you with respect to the initial posts are exactly the same for any research paper. But perhaps the one thing that might set me apart from other professors is my desire to see the discussions, the pure discussion boards, the replies that you make to students' initial posts. They need to be of a pretty good standard. All of the assignments say that 2 reply posts to classmates are required. That's true. 3 is better than 2, 4 is better than 3, 5 is better than 4. So while I don't have a magic number, it all kind of works together. I also need you to do research in most of those replies. So if you're going to have 5 replies, as an example, having the sources from peer-reviewed journals to support your assertions in a couple of those, 3 of them, maybe all 5 of them, is necessary. On the other hand, if you have 5 and you have 2 really nicely written, peer-reviewed, backed up responses, and then you have another one that you found something on the internet that was interesting, then you have another one that you relate a story, that's fine. But if you are going to stick to 2 or 3, which is what the requirements are, they need to be quite good and they need to be backed up by sources. This is a research-based field, and that's why I'm doing this. This is why I feel so strongly about it. Because even when you leave school, you're going to need to keep up on the latest that's going on in the field. And the way that you do that is by reading journals on a monthly basis and attending your professional meeting once a year. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in the course. So anyway, I want to welcome you to the course. I want you to know that I work hard for my students. This is the summertime, so I'm home, um, and I am just getting ready for my live courses in the fall. I teach for another school also, a live brick and mortar school, and so I'm readily able to be found. Uh, Sometimes a phone call is a lot better than an email, so please don't hesitate. I have my office hours listed. However, if it's 11 o'clock in the morning and you need to talk to me, pick up the phone and see if I'm home. Okay, now 11 o'clock at night might be a little bit different. Alrighty, listen, folks. I hope you have a good class. I think you're going to find it very, very interesting, and I hope you find it very, very valuable. Anyway, have a good term, and I'll be checking in with you quite often. Alrighty, bye bye now.